All right, what's up, everyone? Eli
and Mike, let's go.
Let's go. So today we're gonna, give you guys something different.
Yes.
So today's goal is for us to interview each other. So something a little bit different. I figure a lot of people, a lot of our viewers are trying to find out what are we all about. What's the details about Eli and Mike? How do we thrive? Why is it that we do what we do? And we would love to share with you guys these different insights of what we've gone through in our life and how we're going to be able to grow. And we would love to throw that information out to you guys.
Definitely. So this is Eli and Mike, and we'll go ahead and start off with Eli maybe interviewing me, and then we'll switch it over to me interviewing Eli. So
oh my God.
Let's go.
So first of all, what I wanted to ask is, before we start with the interview process, I wanted to let everybody know that, we are business partners. Eli and Mike, we are a brand, and sometimes it's very important to scale with individuals that can help elevate you and be that difference in you. So it's very important to know that in order to build your business, like Mike being the difference of me, he helps fill in the other side of the water of the cup that I'm not able to fill, because we're very, very different, but that difference creates the strong impact that people want in their life. So it's very important to know that you find that partner that's going to help find that difference in you. So Mike, I would love to ask you a few things, and let's see what Mike's answers are to these questions, right?
Let's
go. So obviously, Mike's well dressed. You're always one of the most fashionable people in our company. He gets stopped for everything and for everybody. Give us a reason why you do this. Why do you dress up? Why is it that you are Mike Vizcarra, the guy that walks in and brightens up the whole room?
Definitely. So for me, the reason why I dress up like this and I walk in a room like this is because this is actually this is me. I love playing dress up. This is what I like to do every day. I like to get ready and show up and show out, obviously. But I just really love dressing up. I really love to, showcase myself to these clients and partners that I have. That I am going to get ready, that you are going to get somebody who, prepares themselves, gets up in the morning, takes care of their clothes, takes care of their looks, because that matters in this world. I have been to so many different open houses. I've been to showings for my clients, my partners, and, these realtors, they're dressed up in literally a regular shirt and jeans. And to me, I'm like, oh my gosh, you're selling a $3 million home. How could you show up in a shirt and jeans? Now, if that's just their way of doing things, fine. But for me, that's just not my way of doing things.
And I've seen that. I've seen so many people that go to open houses. They go to all these real estate events, and they're dressed in jeans, ripped jeans, tennis shoes, dressed with a shirt that's not tucked in. Their hair's not that well organized. I mean, there's so many different things. You're not even equipped with business cards or even an e-card. I mean, you definitely do know how to show that and reflect that. And that's actually one huge thing that I learned from you.
Amazing.
I'm not going to say I didn't show up and present myself a certain way. But actually, when I met Mike, I learned how to be better in presentation, show up to the room and lighten up the room. Again, it's done in a fashionable way to do it for marketing purposes, so people can actually look at you and be like, hey, maybe I should take this person serious. And I'm serious. Like, you really do know how to do that very well.
Thank you so much. And if I could also give a shout out to my mom, because she actually is one of the individuals in her high school that she was the best dressed. So my mom was like, she got the award for best dressed. She told me this story one day, and in my head, I was like, I literally have to take after my mom. Like, if she was in high school and she was best dressed, then I literally have to be best dressed as well, so I could be just like her. And not only that, she actually knows how to sew. She actually used to put our Halloween costumes together. So my name is Michelangelo, and she once made me a full Michelangelo Halloween costume. So literally, my mom actually has in her blood, like, to basically clothing. She knows how to sew. This is just like in her blood. And like I said, she even won best dressed. So when I heard this story one day, I'm like, I really want to be best dressed too. I want to be just like my mom.
So that makes a lot of sense. And actually, I know your mom, so she is really, really down with that stuff.
Yes.
I can see her getting down on all her music for sure.
Oh,
yeah. I've seen her especially at the party. So definitely, I know where you got the traits from for sure.
Yes.
So I mean, definitely take a little note. Definitely get dressed to impress, especially in any business, not just real estate, but wherever you go to present yourself and look a certain way, people are going to automatically point something at you and say, all right, what am I getting from this person? They're going to know whether or not you take anything serious. And now I'm not going to tell you, I'm going to tell you right now that when I see Mike and he walks into a room, I'm going to want to meet him. I'm going to want to shake his hand. I'm going to want to see what he's doing if I didn't know him. I'm going to be like, who is this guy? Why is he dressed?
Thank you.
How do I shake his hand? And that's how I met him in the beginning too. Like, hey, who is this dude that actually has this magnet that can control people's intentions. Like, who are you? Can I talk to you? And that's super amazing. So honestly, like, that's kudos to you for sure.
Thank you. And speaking of marketing, let's ask Eli a question. So talk to us about your hair. So it's different colors some days it's blue, sometimes it's pink, sometimes it's gray. So like, what is your whole concept on your hair? I think people want to know.
Okay, so thank you for that question. So honestly, I'll be real. I have this, this feel for wanting to be different when it comes to marketing. So marketing for me is not just the pleasing part of having something that is an object or a possession. I feel like you yourself can be the marketing material too, besides your clothes. So I feel like my hair is definitely my signature. I actually started doing this years and years ago before even any other people. And it's something that I find intriguing because, one, I like it. I don't do it just for marketing. It's actually a pleasure for me. I like the fact of being able to color it, being able to change it. Today's color obviously changed from bleach to blue. There's a little bit of blue, thanks to Megan, my hairstylist. But I love it, and I love the fact of being able to change.
Yes.
Every single day you wake up, why don't I want to change the way my day goes? Like, imagine changing. I mean, it's kind of like changing your clothes. You change it every day. Why not change your style? Why not change your color? Why not do something different to go into that room and people be like, who is this guy? Why is it that you change your hair color? But it is part of my signature. I feel like it is what makes me.
Yes.
People have asked me why I do it, and it truly is just me. And I want to be able to show the world that, hey, there's people that are not afraid of being who they are, and having my hair color the way I have it is just a presentation of me. And it also shows you the inside of Eli. Eli wants to be a character. Eli wants to be this influence of some kind, and let a lot of people open those doors, those closeted doors of saying, well, I don't know if I want to be who I am, but I don't mind. And I think it's a perfect example for people to be who they really belong to be.
Right. And I think what comes out of that as well is innovation. So Eli and Mike, if you could put a word, to us, it's innovation. So we are always innovating when it comes to technology, when it comes to clothing, when it comes to our hair, when it comes to anything you can think of when it comes to our business, real estate loans, investing, relationships. It all comes down to innovating. And if you look at us, you can see that. You see the blue hair, which is different, which is innovative. Like I said, the clothing, our technology. I mean, you just have to see what we do when it comes to technology. If you're our business partners, right? We're using advanced technology to just basically give that client or our partners the best of the best. And so, when we walk in our office last year, 2022, I was saying that word so much, innovation. And honestly, it shows. We have our podcast show now. Again, our outfits, our technology is just, we really push that word, innovation.
We even color coordinated. Like, we were like, what color are you wearing? Blue. I'm like, oh my God, we thought about the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's just, sometimes it's important because we are a brand, as you can see, Eli and Mike. And again, take this note down. The fact is, when you are doing anything in life, we know through trial and error that brands stick out. People want to follow a brand because it's credible, because it makes sense, because it's something that really reflects on people's eyes a certain way. Like, think about Coca-Cola. Think about Amazon.
Think about Eli and Mike.
Think about Eli and Mike.
So literally, he's right. And, we are always marketing. I don't know if you have seen our Instagram. It has a chrome Ferrari green and also a Model X Tesla plaid blue. The blue is literally like this right here. Like, it is so blue. You have to go check out our Instagram so you can see what I mean, our TikTok, whatever you like. But it all comes down to marketing. So we park our Tesla chrome color, shiny, in front of our mortgage guy's office in the Inland Empire. And people are just driving by, just stopping, getting out of their cars. There's people honking at them. And yes, it's pretty crazy, but, we're not in control of traffic. In the end, our cars are marketing our business. Our mortgage guys, our Ambiance Realty, they're being shown. People are seeing it. Because they're looking at the cars. It says on the cars, Eli and Mike. It says the mortgage guys. It says Ambiance Realty. And then they look up and literally they see the mortgage guys. They look to the right. They see Ambiance Realty. And that's what we're all about. Again, so innovation. And then our second word I would have to say is marketing. I don't know which one we're better at, but we love innovating and we love marketing.
And what's important too is think about your business, right? What do you have to do in business for you to thrive, for you to excel, for you to grow? These recession moments that have passed, maybe some people are still going through it, have made people a little bit weaker. Trust me, we also, when COVID happened, we got weak. we for a month, probably a month or
Yes.
even 2 months,
Yes.
kind of sat back behind the seat, and we even sat at home. We're like, hey, should we just order chicken McNuggets or something and chill? You know,
Right.
I know it sounds funny, but
Yeah.
everybody at least once thought about it and say, hey, let's just take it easy and see what's the outcome. And in reality, what's that going to do for you? Then you're going to be a standard individual that will go through life and not change. So the whole purpose of branding is you have to stick out like a sore thumb in front of so many people.
Yes, even in the hardest of times.
Even of the hardest of times. And again, yes, the end result is monetary. You know, you want to get money. You want to build a business. You want to become somebody that's not so dependent on the job, but more of utilizing your smarts to get to the next level. But the whole goal is so that people remember you. And yes, I'm an introvert. Mike's an extrovert. You know, at least I won't talk for Mike, but I believe I am an introvert. And I'm very careful what I say. I'm very careful how I dress. I'm very calm. People that know me, I don't really like to talk a lot at parties, and I kind of try to end them very fast because I want to go home. I'm very quiet, but I still know and I understand the business philosophy requires exposure, requires passing out knowledge, requires training, requires people to know who you are. And social media is the best way of influencing people. And I think me and Mike, to an extent, we're still building our social media and building our platforms. To an extent, that's an important aspect of growing. And you have to just be accepting the fact that that is where the world is now. You have to do that.
No, it is. And, you know, sometimes it's a little extra, but obviously we're extra. And this is just who we are. And, you know, having that little extra sometimes can lead you to magical situations. So, I mean, what happened with our Chrome Ferrari, and I just have to tell you guys this story. And literally, you know, our Chrome Ferrari, like I said, it says Eli and Mike on it. Our marketing is there. Our brand is there. The colors are there. And, you know, we pull up to an event. When we get to this event, Paris Hilton sees our car and she's like, who's Eli and Mike? And literally, what does she do? She jumps in the car with us and we
jumps in the car.
Takes Paris Hilton for a ride. And how did we do this? It all is because of marketing. We literally, Paris Hilton is somebody who really looks at things. She loves shiny things. She is very detailed, and she's seen our car and the Chrome, the Ferrari, the Eli and Mike on the side. She's like, that is so detailed. I want to be picked up in that car. And so what did we do? We picked up Paris Hilton and our Chrome Ferrari, which was so crazy, but it all came down again to marketing and branding. Totally. You know, innovating, because let me say this, when we got our Chrome Ferrari, I mean, it was almost like I've never seen a Chrome car on the freeway and the road, right?
Yeah, in the road.
And then once we got our Chrome Ferrari, you will just see people on the road now starting to get that Chrome. But you know who?
Seriously.
You know, we innovated. We are some of the first that were like, hey, let's get a Chrome car wrapped, you know, but not only a regular car on a Ferrari, which is a little, you know,
extra.
a little extra. But we innovated, and what did that do for us? It made magical moments for us.
And you know what? So let's go even deeper, right, Mike? So let's think about the aspect of marketing, right? What is the end result of marketing? And let's not even go all the way to the money. The money is the last thing. I don't think money is the coin anymore. Money is just what you expect to receive for some kind of transaction of some kind. But I personally believe, and I'm sure maybe you agree with me, Mike, is relationships.
Yes.
That marketing technique gained us a relationship with Paris Hilton. That marketing technique gained us a relationship with another, Carrie Kasem, for some of you guys who know her, a relationship with Albert and Sil, a relationship with other influential minds, because those marketing techniques will get you people that are going to see like, oh, wait, hold on. Who's this person? Why are they so flashy? But it's not just doing that once. You repeat it. As long as it works, you keep going at it. You brand it. You follow it. You pursue it. And before you know it, you are that person. And the money will come. Trust me, we've been doing this for a very, very, very long time. And the money will come out of different avenues of just appearances and showing up to places. But the magic token, and like you said, the word magic, is that relationship can last a lifetime. And that relationship opens doors to different avenues of wealth. That's what's important.
Yes, definitely. Relationships are everything. So, you know, if we can say another word, it's innovation, it's marketing, and then it's relationships. It's everything. 2023 is all about relationships. So if you don't have any, get out there, start shaking hands and make it happen. Because 2023, the only way you're going to get ahead, you have to innovate and you have to go make relations. And you also have to market, you know?
No, for real. So guys, let's get a little deeper here. I'm going to ask Mike a question. I want to get a little deeper about his past, and hopefully he's not going to hate me for it.
Loves it.
I think everybody needs to know that we are real people and we bleed. We also have our highs and our lows.
Yes.
And I want everybody to know that these are moments that we all experience, and we don't know, is it normal? Is it average? Is it supposed to happen to me? Is this the way I'm supposed to live my life? So I'm going to ask Mike a question. So Mike, why don't you tell us, what kind of lifestyle did you grow up in? Like, I know that everybody sees the fancy you. You drive a Ferrari. You have this amazing character that everybody is magnet to. Literally a magnet.
Thank you.
Where is your past? Not even how. In your past, what kind of life, how did you live your past? Like, what kind of life did you have?
Definitely. So my past life, I grew up in the high desert. I don't know if any of you guys know where that is. It's on the way to Las Vegas. So it's like 3 little cities, Apple Valley, Hesperia, Victorville. It's literally a desert. So I actually grew up in a desert. And my backyard was literally dirt. So, it's like my playground was my backyard, which was dirt, So sometimes I say, I literally come from the dirt, literally, because, where I grew up, it was a desert. And I mean that literally. We would go down the street to play in the deserts with desert trees. And what we would do is literally dig holes. And the holes were like our pastime. Digging holes was our pastime in the dirt. Insane. And we started figuring out how to do things with dirt. We would dig holes, we'll fill it up with water, and then we'll fill it back up with dirt. And literally we would like jump in it. And this was like the most amazing thing ever. So, this is like the place where I came from. And I have the most beautiful family, great parents, amazing brothers. I have one sister. 5 brothers and 1 sister, so huge family. But with all that, living in a desert, living with 5 brothers, sometimes the things can get a little bit hard in life. Sometimes times can get a little hard, especially when you're not living in the most luxury places in the world, and I know a lot of you guys can feel me on that.
Definitely relate for sure.
Right. Yeah. And like I said, my family was amazing. My mom and dad worked very hard. But even when people work very hard, sometimes it's just not enough, And sometimes, things happen. Sometimes there was leaks in the roof. We had to put pans under to catch the water. There is a time where literally I fell asleep on the floor because whatever reason I had to sleep on the floor that night. And this actually is the moment that changed my life. Actually, this is the moment that changed my life, is when I was like, I belong in Beverly Hills in a suit, walking the streets of Beverly Hills or Bel Air.
Really? Like what?
Yes. This is the moment where I was like, this is it. I'm changing my life. And this is the crazy thing. I was like 9 when this happened. Like, I was a 9-year-old when I said I'm gonna be walking in Beverly Hills and wearing suits, and I already started manifesting in my head, you know what, I'm just gonna make it happen. And the moment where this happened in my brain is I was laying on the floor one night, asleep on the floor, and we didn't have roaches in our house or anything like that, but I don't know if you guys know what water bugs are, and they literally look like roaches. So whatever, you can call them roaches. That does
not sound fun.
They're water bugs, because we had a jacuzzi in the backyard, so sometimes these water bugs, they come because of the water. And so sometimes these bugs got in the house more than they should have. And literally one night I woke up and there was literally a water bug in my hair. Oh my God, you guys.
No, I'm good.
And I literally grabbed this water bug and I crushed it in my hands when I woke up, and I just lay there like, what just happened? And I was so freaked out because there was a dead water bug in my hand, roach, whatever you want to call it. And, like I said, people go through what they go through for a reason. And I went through that for a reason, because at that moment when I crushed that little bug in my hand, I literally was so freaked out. I was like, my mind just started flashing, and I'm like, oh my God, like, I literally need to change my life. I was 9 years old and I still was like, I need to change my life. I already started working when I was 12 because of this. In my mind, I was like, literally, like, I already need to start working. Thank God we had a family restaurant. There was a family restaurant in my family, and I was able to work when I was 12.
Got it.
But I don't think I would have ever done any of that if that little moment didn't happen to me.
Wow.
If we weren't in the hard times that we were in, then, I might not be here today. If that little moment where I crushed that bug, like, I might not be here today. And that little bug, I tell people, that little bug was literally screaming at me like, get it together, get up, wake up, because it's the middle of the night. And he's like, wake up and do something about your life. because you can't blame anybody.
No, for
you know,
real.
this has nothing to do with my parents. This has nothing to do with my brothers. This is just a situation that we were all in. And that little bug woke me up. So that's my story. That's my story.
So obviously a lot of us can relate to that. Obviously I have different stories to that, but just knowing the fact that you're 9 years old, and you're already thinking in this mindset of, I don't want to live this lifestyle. But at the same time, you're humble about it because you know your parents couldn't do anything different at the time.
Yes.
You know, we all have parents where
they're working the hardest.
They're working the hardest.
They're working the hardest they could.
I mean, for some of us, unfortunately, don't have that luck. Some parents do. Some of you guys don't have parents, and that's unfortunate. And in his case, he has parents that worked hard, but sometimes you have to realize how hard it is to be a parent as well. We're parents ourselves too. It's not easy. And sometimes you can only provide so much, and your parents worked as hard as, because I know who they are.
Yes.
They can only do so much, and they worked very hard. But remember where they came from. They started that beginning for you in America.
Yes.
You know, and they started and you had that moment. So a lot of you guys are probably thinking to yourself, oh, I've had a moment that I remember I wanted to change my stars, my life. And that was your moment. And now that I know that, like, wow, like that is very impactful.
Yeah.
I mean, you almost even cried.
Yes.
Like that's intense. Like, wow. Like, I don't know. Like, that's intense. And I'm happy to see that where you're at right now. You know, it's crazy.
Thank you. And it was intense. But like I said, you know, if you guys have gone through something in your life, maybe use that to wake you up.
Yeah.
Maybe use that so you're not a victim, you know? Maybe use that so you could be better in life.
Oh my God. Keyword victim. Don't be a victim to that problem, because you're right. You could have literally been like, this is my life.
Right.
My life is a ruin. My life is to smash water bugs from my head. My life is to just be standard and deal with it. And you didn't.
Thank you.
I mean, honestly, give me a high five. Like, that's amazing.
And that's why I had to put in my head that I'm going to be walking in Beverly Hills, or I'll be in a suit in Bel Air, because in my mind, I was already at the bottom. Yeah. So like, why not?
I mean, how much lower can you go than sleeping on the floor in the high desert with smashing water?
Yeah, and it's like,
I mean, that's pretty low.
I was already at the bottom, and it's like, you might as well start manifesting to the top, the best places in the world. And it's so crazy because you guys, right now, we're sitting in Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
I'm literally
we're
sitting
on the Sunset Strip.
I'm sitting in a suit, and we're not only sitting in Beverly Hills, just in Beverly Hills, we are in the most famous street, one of the most famous streets in the world, the Sunset Strip. This morning when I walked into this office, I was holding my bag. I was in my suit.
Yeah.
And I literally was like, you know what? I made my dreams come true, and I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep going, you know? And I think that little bug, like I said, is the thing that woke me up. But enough about me. Let's actually, you know, I got a little emotional here. It's time to ask Eli about his emotional question. So if you guys are ready, let's do this. So Mr. Eli, it looks like for me, there was a little bug that crawled in my hair, and he's like, wake up. And that was my moment. So what was your moment where you were like, eyes just wide open, and you're like, I'm literally going to be the best of the best. I'm going to be a CEO of whatever company that comes my way. I'm going to be this amazing man who's in his 40s, who looks beautiful, who knows how to dress. Like, how did this all happen? We need to know what woke you up.
Wow. All right, being a little older, I've had a couple of different phase problem situations that arose. So for anybody that's probably a little older, you guys might relate to this, because sometimes you had that moment with the water bug.
My little friend.
I've had my own little water bug situations, and it's been more like a couple of different problems with that. But I'll start.
Okay, so let's hear
from the root.
Yeah, let's hear the main one.
Let's start.
Let's hear the main one.
Start with the root.
Okay.
So the number one root for me, I grew up in Los Angeles.
Yes.
And
La Puente, correct?
La Puente, yeah.
Yes.
I grew up in La Puente.
Google
California,
it, anybody. Google.
California.
Map
well, back in 1996, it was a little different than 2022 or 2023. But back then, you know, I would have to go to bed knowing there's gangs out there. Gunshots would literally be the sounds of music to me. Without the gunshots, it would not be La Puente. Yes. I had to have gunshots put me to sleep as if it was like a musical.
Wow.
And I would just pray every night, hoping these people would not run into my house. So again, my parents provided very well.
Right.
They both worked at a company called Altadena.
Oh yes. Some of the hardest people, some of the hardest working people I know are Eli's parents.
Thank you.
Just like mine. Just like mine.
No, absolutely.
And my dad is still working, and your dad is still working. That just shows it's not
And
like
it's
they weren't
insane.
working.
They're too old to be working,
Yeah.
but they do it because they want to.
Right.
But-
So go on.
But to basically state the fact that they were hardworking.
Yes.
Obviously, there's a difference between hard work and smart work. My parents are as smart as they could, but again, look, there's privileges that us as children have that we should be able to embark on something different from what our parents gave us.
Yes.
And that's our task as their children, to do something better. It's not to make it worse. It's not to diminish their value, but to help enhance by being their children, right?
Right.
So back to what I was saying is the fact that I slept with that. I would go out the street. There are gang banging going on. I'm not gonna say hookers walking the street, but there's people that are just people.
I'm
walking
sure
the
there
street.
was a couple of
There was
hookers
probably
walking
a
the
couple hookers,
street. Just
but
saying,
they were
just
young.
like-
They were girls. But the fact is,
I mean, God bless, amen.
I lived in an area where you realize that crime rate's so high.
Yes.
And when my mom was buying food the best she
Yes.
could, she was
Yes.
she was a great homemaker, but they had to work 2 jobs to meet ends meet.
Wow.
And
Wow.
those gunshots put me in a bad spot. But on top of that, I would go to the supermarket. I'll be an employee there. I started working when I was 15 and a half. I started my first job at McDonald's. And then when it didn't impact me until I started working at a supermarket. And there was I went to go get some shopping carts in the back. And all the way in the back, some gangsters just came up to me.
Mhm.
And again, this was a different time. Maybe people don't do this, but I believe people still be getting jumped in the streets. So be careful, guys. But I went out there and I realized I was being surrounded by criminals. A gang. And I got jumped. I got attacked.
Yes.
I got hit. I got bruised and everything. And when I was laying on that floor, I realized to myself, what am I living? Why am I working this 9-to-5 job where and let me even give you more detail. Everybody was looking from the store of me getting beat up outside and nobody did nothing about it. It was a crime-ridden area where you would be jumped and nobody does nothing.
Like, I'm about to cry.
I mean, seriously, it was so sad. I mean,
That's
imagine
crazy.
being a 15-year-old, 16, being a 16-year-old child, and you're outside collecting carts because you need the money for not just your family to help your parents out too, but also because obviously as a child, you want to make money too. And then you get jumped.
Right.
You almost get killed.
Right.
And everybody, I don't know if anybody's had dreams. Have you guys ever had a dream where people are looking and laughing at you or people are looking and doing nothing while you're getting hurt?
Right.
It was like a dream. I was laying there and everybody from the store, including my so-called friends, were looking
Y'all
at
know
me.
who you are.
Yeah. Looking at me just get beat up, laying on the floor with blood.
God bless.
And I got up and people, when I had to walk crippled back to the inside of the store, and everybody that did see was like, you okay, huh? You're fine. Oh, don't worry. They might not come back. Nobody did nothing about it. In that moment, I realized, what am I doing working at these places?
Wow.
What am I doing being
That's it right
employed by these
there.
places that don't care about you? They don't value your life. I mean,
Right.
you guys ever felt like a ticket number at a job?
Right.
Like,
Yes,
imagine feeling
definitely.
like a unit.
Yes.
Like, that is the worst feeling ever. Like,
Right.
oh, I'm just number 5 out of 500 people.
Right.
You should be the top of everything that you could provide to somebody. And that hurt my feelings so much. And it took me a little longer to actually really let it impact me. I ended up getting through more situations. But the fact is, that was really the main point where I said,
That was your
No more.
awakening. That was your awakening.
That was my awakening. That was the no more, Eli. You need to go find new jobs, new careers. And that's when I started being an entrepreneur and started making more money. But aside of that, I was able to depart that area and start, going into different areas that were a little bit safer and better jobs. So, that was my moment. And it was very impactful to me.
That's crazy.
But
You
I grew
guys,
from
can you see that people have their moments, but they have the moments in different ages and different times. I was 9 and I'm here today. You were 16,
I was 16.
You're here today. So we all have our moments. It's going to be at a different time, but find that moment and use it for strength. Use it to get ahead. Use it to be better, because we can't be victims in this world anymore. This world is so hard. Me and Eli are parents to 2 beautiful children, Jocelyn and Ethan, 16 years old and 19 years old. They're amazing kids. They're loving. But for me and Eli, we push them to be great. We push their greatness, because if we didn't, I believe as parents we'd be giving them a disservice.
Yeah.
And sometimes I tell Eli, the world is hard out there. Sometimes we find ourselves making our son, oatmeal in the morning. We're doing it. We're putting all the ingredients, the cinnamon, the almonds, and then sometimes I'm like, wait, Eli. I'm like, actually, let's let our son do it this morning. I know he's in a rush. I know we're in a rush, and I know that he loves to be there for his son every morning.
I definitely
And
do like to
you know,
cater as much as I
right?
could. But
And I do
get
too.
it.
And I do too. You know that I'm a caterer as well. But there's moments where you have to just put your foot down and be like, you know what? The world is tough out there.
Mhm.
And if you have
Amen to
kids
that.
like me and Eli, sometimes we do have to be a little bit tough. And kids, if you're watching, you know, I know you know what I mean. The world is tough out there. We even have our daughter as a partner with us in our business. She's 19 years old, excellent partner to be in business with. But do we ever let her slide for 1 minute? And you answer that.
I agree with you.
Is it yes or no? Do we let her slide?
No.
Okay.
No. Okay.
We do not let her slide. So,
Okay.
like, I have to get that out there because, like, we are parents and we're a little bit
Yeah.
rough,
that's
but
true.
we have to be, you guys.
Yeah.
We have to be because the world is so tough out there.
So-
it's tough for us.
Yeah.
And I'm 32 years old. He's 44. And the
He
world
wasn't
is tough
supposed to
for
disclose
us.
that.
Sorry.
That was
There's some more secrets from Eli and Mike.
you violated the agreement.
Oh, shoot. But okay, so then those were our breaking moments, you guys. I had a little friend that crawled in my hair. Eli got jumped by a gang. Okay, we woke up and now look at us.
Oh my gosh.
So let's talk about some other more controversial stuff because today we are doing Eli and Mike. We're interviewing each other and we just really want you guys to know about us. So
Literally.
we have not always been Eli and Mike. Actually, before me, Eli was married with a wife. He had 2 children.
Which are the 2 children that we have now.
Right,
So they're our
right.
kids now.
So Eli actually was, I mean, I don't know how to like tell this to our audience, but at the time, Eli was a man with a wife and children.
Yeah.
And myself, actually, before I met Eli, I actually had a girlfriend for about 8 years.
Yeah.
So, you know, I was with the girl for about 8 years. Eli was in a marriage for 11 years. He had kids at that time. I guess my question would be, when did it all change for you where you were like, okay, this is my life for 11 years and now I'm going to go be with Mike.
So it's actually
Like, you know?
Actually, I have 2 answers for you.
Okay, let's do
I
this.
actually didn't know you were going to ask me this question. So but I have the answers.
Yes.
I was unhappy
Okay.
and I didn't feel like I was living a fulfilled life.
And so, like, let's talk about that before you go to your next.
Yeah.
So you were unhappy. So you believe you were just, you know, you were living a life that maybe was not real?
I was living a life that just was not my life.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like,
I guess that makes sense.
like
right?
it
Not a
was no
real life,
harm.
but
It was
wasn't
no
my
harm
life.
to nobody. It was no
Right.
harm to his ex-wife. It was no harm to his children. It's just you created this life of 11 years, correct?
Correct.
And it just wasn't. It was not working for you.
It wasn't what I expected for sure. But again,
Right.
coming from me, everybody tries something, right? Like you
Mhm.
try a relationship, whether you're a homosexual or heterosexual, you try something and you go that route. But sometimes when you get unhappy, it makes your mind think things. It makes you think whether you're supposed to be with your partner or your life partner or your marriage goes on. And that unhappiness gives you what you feel, that poison that feels like maybe this isn't for me. And it did impact me. Like the reason I'm no longer married to this individual is because I was very unhappy. I actually became very obese. I'm not obese, but I got chunky, right?
No,
We
you
call it
were
chunky.
obese.
I'm trying to say not that obese. It was chunky.
Okay.
Chunky is a better word. So I got a little chunky.
Yes.
Because it was a way to hide my pain.
Mm.
At the same time, you know, I'm not saying that this is an excuse to not be who you are, but the fact is, when you're unhappy, you have to find ways to pivot, to
Right.
change,
Right.
and realize if you're not happy, then you need to move on. You need
I
to move
love
on in
this.
life.
I love this because he was unhappy, and you changed your life.
Yeah.
Because you saw it wasn't working for you, and just now look at you now. I mean, if you were obese before, you're like more fit than you have ever been in your life. You know what I mean?
Thank you for that.
I mean, before you didn't even comb your hair. Now it's colorful. It's fade. He has a fade in it. I mean,
What
right? So like,
okay.
you know, your life has completely changed, you know? And like I said, I don't think there's no like ill will against your past life.
Yeah.
It was just your unhappiness showed you could be yourself. If you just be you.
No, for real. And again, people that are married, there's a lot of unmarried. No,
Right.
there's a lot of married couples
Yes.
and people in relationships that are just not happy.
You're not happy.
And you have to just find a way to realize either
Yes.
meet in the middle and make
Right.
it happen, use the same energies to level up,
Right.
or you have to move on and find
Yes.
someone that can actually relate to you.
And this is
And
hard to tell people.
It is very hard because, you
But
know, everybody has relationships.
Right.
Everybody has problems. I'm
Right.
not saying okay, now that after
Yeah.
this podcast,
Yeah.
I'm going to go fight
Yeah.
my wife or my
Right.
husband because
Right.
I feel different.
Yeah.
But it just means, look, get to a level where everybody can relate. between your relationship and get to a means that's going to make sense for both of you. And at that point, unfortunately, I don't want to steer away from the question, but the answer was I really was unhappy because we were just not meeting eye to eye. We were arguing all the time. At the same time, I am a homosexual, so it's a little bit different. I was just holding it back because during that time frame, you couldn't really be out as much as you could today. I mean, back in 1996, it was a little bit tougher to be who you wanted to be versus now you can look right and you can look left and who knows what.
You see Eli and Mike.
You see Eli and Mike. And that's like, okay, I guess this is normal, right?
Yeah.
So it's different now. The world is different. The world spins the opposite direction now. We all care a little less of what people think about us, which is actually a wonderful thing.
Yes.
I don't think people really need to bug who you are or change who you are.
Right.
But that is something that I grew out of, and it made me realize I'm not happy and I'm going to find happiness. And that's where I'm at now.
And I feel you on that too, because in some countries today in 2023, if you are a homosexual, you could actually get stoned to death.
It's
literally
suppressing.
Just because you're homosexual. So in 1996, when you're going through your times where you're having children and you have your wife and you're at the time you're heterosexual, I can only imagine how scary it was in 1996 because today I wake up and I have to see headlines where people are being stoned to death and it's the year 2023. Imagine the headlines back then, you guys. I mean, there was people getting burned, and I hate to say this, but people were getting burned on crosses for being homosexual.
Yeah.
So like
that's insane, man.
You did everything you could, to create your family. You have your beautiful children now. You have your relationship with your previous marriage,
Right.
But I'm so happy that you moved on and you did what you needed to do because you are just so happy nowadays. You literally have truly turned your life around. You're a CEO of a company. Your kids are happy. They're beautiful. You're going to the gym in the morning with your son. You're not overweight anymore. I won't say obese anymore. You're not overweight anymore.
Be nice, Mike. Be nice.
Right, I'll be nice. His hair is delicious. It's like, you guys, if you're in that relationship that is not working, we have proof right here what happens when you just do what makes you happy.
But okay, so let me break it down more. And I'm going to be honest with Mike.
Yes, please.
Honestly, it takes somebody special to break that down and make you realize who you really are. Sometimes that friend or that person you talk to on the other line, or that person that you're scared of being honest with and being vulnerable with, they teach you something new about yourself. So when I met you, I became vulnerable to the fact that maybe I'm a better person. Maybe I feel better. Maybe I look better. Maybe I should be more me, because it would take somebody as powerful as you, because you have this, I don't know what it is about you. You have this way to, if you were a magnet, literally like everything will fly to you if you were a human magnet.
Oh my God.
But I'm just saying that was my pivoting point for me, that when I met you, I was like, maybe I could look better. Maybe I could get in shape. Maybe I should comb my hair. Maybe I should dress nicer. Maybe I could be better than what, because you were still living in the high desert when I met you.
Right. So I did help him dress a little bit, you guys. I just have to put that on record.
Yeah, I'll have to let that pass because otherwise I won't stop hearing it from him.
Like literally, he would be in the baggiest slacks and the biggest gray suit, not tailored, and like a green undershirt. And I'm like,
green undershirt?
I was like, sir,
when did I never
go to the, let's go suit shopping.
No,
I'm like, no, sir, we're fixing this right now. But I mean, look at him now. He dressed himself today. I didn't have to go in the room
Dressed
and
myself?
I didn't have to go and pick his pin, because for like 2 years I was like picking his pins, I was picking his little hankies, I was like, oh no, like
I tried.
He would like come in the room and he would have his whole, I would let him get dressed and I'm like, oh no, you have to change that, you have to change the undershirt.
Okay,
I was
you
like,
did do it a couple times, but I enjoyed him changing things.
It was fun, you guys, but I just had to throw that in there. And also he dresses himself now and he looks amazing. So he's learned well. Okay,
I've never dressed him, so I'll give him that. Kudos to him.
Okay.
But you know what? All right, so let's I'm gonna ask you a deep question. Okay. You went deep with me with this question. Okay. So let's ask Mike a question. You are 32 years old.
Yes.
You're gonna be 33 this year.
Thank you.
Well, you called me out for 44.
Wow, this is war, you guys.
Come on, he's 33. But anyways.
Oh my God.
So what impact, what changed with you by meeting somebody like myself? So I'm 11 years older than you, right? You met an 11-year older man and we connected and we built this relationship together. What impacts did that create to you? Did it do anything? Actually, let me have you answer that question. Did that impact you in any way? What did that do for you?
Yes. So you guys meeting Eli truly changed my life, because I was 19. and Eli was
All right,
32 years
he
old.
wasn't supposed to disclose that.
I was 19 and
At least
Eli
he
was
didn't say
32
17.
years old.
Because it's 19.
Oh no,
Let's
I was
get
that
the
age.
record straight.
I was
an adult.
I was of age. But you guys remember, I was that kid that wanted to grow up already, that wanted to be better, that wanted to be in Beverly Hills,
Everybody
that wanted
ages
to
differently for sure.
right,
Yeah.
that wanted to work. And so, you know, I was with my previous partner. It was a female, so at the time I was with a female.
I don't know how, but yeah.
And we were together, and she had to go away for a little bit, about a year and a half. And so in that time,
And by go away, what?
Okay, she went to prison for a year and a half. She went to prison for a year and a half, you guys.
Yeah, he liked like cholas. So.
Oh my goodness. Okay, she did some crazy things. I did not hang out with her for like a week, and then she calls me and she's in prison. So my previous
I don't know why I like that story.
my previous partner, she's in jail for a year and a half, and I'm like, what am I doing for a year and a half? You know me, I'm somebody who's always working. I'm always trying to make relationships. And when your partner's put away for so long, it was like, I need to like do something about this. I know. This is a crazy story. Okay. And then
all right, you're being real. Let's be real. Go
okay, so then I meet Eli. I'm 19 years old, and he's 32 years old. And it's so crazy because remember, I'm the person that always wants to get ahead. So when I was 18 years old, I was actually planning to have a baby with my girlfriend already. We actually sat down, we spoke about it, and we're going to plan to have a baby so my mom could have a grandson or a granddaughter. So we were like, I'm telling you guys, I was ahead. I was always trying to get ahead. Even though I was 18, most people are like, oh, I'm not going to have a baby right now. I was like, I'm going to work so hard. I'm going to get 2 jobs. I'm going to have my baby. I'm just going to make it all happen. And then, of course, my girlfriend goes away for a year and a half. And who do I meet? Mr. Eli Delgado.
All of a sudden.
And how did that how did that work for me? For one, obviously he's beautiful, so that was just a plus.
You.
But you know, Eli, he did have children already. You know, he did have his business already. He had his stuff put together, and his life, your life that you had,
somebody's phone.
your life that you had. So sorry, you guys, technical difficulties, but this is what happens in technology. You know what I mean. So the life that you had is a life that I was actually already creating, and for one, you know, obviously we've been together for 12 years. You know, I fell in love with Eli. The fact that I learned that he had kids, you know, 2 beautiful children, you know, he had his business. The only thing that I can think of is like, oh my goodness, like for one, I already love this individual, but for 2, did I just get blessed with 2 children when I was just stopped from having kids? That was my dream. So I was like, oh my God, I literally get to have kids. What a blessing.
Wow.
So that was number 1. And then number 2, you know, you having your stuff together, being the CEO of your own company. I'm that person. I just wasn't there yet. I was 19 and I was like, okay, like I need to be around these type of people. I didn't have to need to be around you because I was in love with Eli, but the extra to it was that he had the blueprints to be better, to have a company, to have children, and how to do all that. And I was so blessed to be able to join you on that venture. And those 2 things have stuck with me throughout my whole business, throughout my whole life since I've been with you, because literally I work hard like this, not only for myself to be in Beverly Hills and to be in a suit, but for my children, for my partner, for my family. And if I didn't have a partner and I didn't have 2 children and you know what I mean? Maybe I would not be sitting here today.
And you know what? I'll stop you real quick.
Yes.
I'm going to be real with Mike. So you're right. I did come in with a package, right?
Yes.
Older man, definitely business, but we had a lot of different things, kids and everything, and marriage and a bunch of different things were going on at this time. But hey, it worked out and we're here, right?
I mean, we're here.
But I'm going to twist the tables a little bit around because
I thought the tables were already twisted.
Oh, no,
but
I'm going to twist the tables.
Let's spin it.
It is true. I did that. However, somewhere within the last, probably between the last 5 years.
Yes.
Probably right around the time we started working with the mortgage guys in Ambiance. Michael Viscara himself became now kind of the pioneer of creating a new avenue for me. So he actually brought me to this company, whereas I thought it wasn't. I was happy somewhere. I guess not even happy. I was just complacent.
Yes, comfortable.
Comfortable, right? And I know that now you have to live an uncomfortable life, believe it or not, to be able to scale and grow. But you taught me something. You started
Yes.
pushing me. Eli, you're
Yes.
better than this.
Yes.
You can become the great.
Yes.
You can have, and not just that, like the people around you
Yes.
are magnetic to that. Again, remember, our
Mhm.
keyword is magnet. Right?
Mhm.
Magnet Mike, we'll say. So the fact is, you are able to do something, and you were able to change somebody who has this ongoing cycle of just doing these things, and you changed my life around.
Thank
You
you.
made me feel like, wow, like I don't have to be a 44-year-old that, think about this. How many 44-year-olds out there probably act or react like a 44-year-old when you should be a 44-year-old that really should still have the energy,
Of a
the
20-year-old.
influence, the power,
Yes.
the
Yes.
goal-oriented mindset of wanting to be somebody super successful, then looking at 44 as a way is, it's time to pack my bags and chill, right?
Yes. Yes.
So you made that impact for me and took me in to say, hey, Eli, I'm going to help you. Now I'm going to show you the way. Yes, I admit I fight you a little bit on it because I'm so used to wanting to be Eli. Comfortable. But that uncomfortability definitely changed us. And look at us now. We scaled. And again, a lot of us out there neglect the fact of people that are younger that don't have the experience, because there's a moment in time where poof, it pops in somebody's head.
Yes.
And now they're not the same. You're not
Right.
the same Mike that I met.
Right.
You're not even the same Mike I met that changed then. You're different
Right.
even now.
Yes.
Every single time you change your versions.
Yes.
And it's definitely something I wanted to tell you that, like, damn, like, you are changing my life to this day.
Thank you.
This podcast is
Thank you.
definitely a mutual idea.
Yes.
But on top of that, it's a lot of us out there, a lot of our viewers are going through these definitely big challenges, looking at themselves. You guys are 18, 19 years old. You probably don't even think you have great ideas, but you do. You just need to realize that you can make an impact with people's lives.
Like, remember, my idea came to me when I was 9 years old. So probably our
my word.
TikTokers, legit start thinking even when you're 9, what your future is going to look like. Start manifesting it. I know this sounds crazy if I'm talking to like a 9-year-old, but it's true.
Yeah.
It happened to me.
Seriously.
You were what, 16?
16.
That's still a child.
It took me a lot longer to realize where I was
Yeah.
at in my life.
Yeah.
But, some people are faster in
Yes.
catching on to things. You really are faster than I am when it comes to catching to things.
Definitely.
And I accept that. But the fact is, that doesn't mean you can't start now.
Definitely. Definitely.
Remember, like, don't blame your parents for anything. Your parents are not always at fault. Yes, if they're beating you and stuff, then there's a little different story there, and then nobody should be beating anybody. But if your parents are working and they're not talking to you, is it really always their fault? Sometimes they're busy because that's what all they're used to. That's their trend. It is your job as a child of another human being to soar above that and find a different way to change it. It doesn't matter how old you are. You could be 9 years old. You could be 15. You could be 6. You could be 30 years old.
You guys,
could be
you have
40.
to be able to change. I think the key word is change, okay?
Yep.
And let's tell you a little bit about change, everybody. Change, everybody. So me and Eli, even in our relationship, have not always been like this. We have changed so many times.
So many times.
So when we met each
God.
other, we were in a very good place. We had good money. Our home, everything was great. We were paying our mortgage on time. But there was a time where what happened to us, actually had a fall down, just like
We did.
most relationships, come across. Ours was in regards to money. So yes, it may seem like we're living this fabulous life with Ferraris and Teslas, like we said from the beginning of this podcast. We're wearing suits. We're walking in Beverly Hills. You guys know where we came from. Yes, now we have all this stuff. But that is not the whole story.
Correct.
There was change that needed to happen. Yes, in the beginning, we had a couple of years of greatness, but there's also a couple of years of a downfall. And what did we have to do in that time? And I know we've told you guys the story again, but I'm just going to say it again really quick.
Yeah.
We literally went from coins to cars because me and Eli truly would go to the supermarkets and put the coins in Stater Brothers or Ralph's or Albertsons, and we truly would be collecting from coins maybe $90, $110, and we were so excited about that. Do you remember that?
I mean, we would go in there with like hoodies and cover our face the best we could because it was very embarrassing. But
And
you
we
know
have
what?
kids, you guys, and
had kids.
$100 to us was like, oh my God, this $100. This was like 7 years ago, you guys. 7 years ago.
Yeah.
$100 for me, Eli, our 2 kids. We were so excited about it.
Literally, now that you say it, 7 years
It
ago.
was like
that
7
actually is
years
so
ago.
true.
Change
That
needs
is
to happen,
insane.
you guys, or else you're always gonna stay where you're at.
Yeah.
We looked at each other and we were like, this is not happening anymore. There was a time where we looked at one of the coins that we turned in. It was like $56, and we were like, we're done. We're done.
Yeah.
The whole store was looking at us. The change is so loud.
It's
I
like
mean,
the loudest.
the loudest change for some
Like,
reason.
why is it
It's
so
like,
loud?
It's counting every penny. So every penny's like, it's like so loud.
Literally.
And oh my God, after we saw that little thing, we're like, we need to be better. We need to change. You know, we went from coins to cars, meaning we only had coins 7 years ago. And now we have cars like Ferraris and Teslas. It's crazy.
And you know what? What's really crazy about that is you all have to understand that failures are a requirement to succeed in life, to grow in life. So we've hit, I can't even count how many failures we've had.
That was just a coin failure.
There's more.
Like we have the Del Taco failures where you buy 12
Taco
tacos.
Bell failure,
A Taco Bell failure.
I don't want to name too many companies.
There's a lot. Oh yeah.
You guys didn't hear that,
right?
But the fact is, we learn from it. So if you guys are failing, lift your head up.
Yes.
Get it out of the soup bowl, out of the 99-cent freaking top ramen. We've had hundreds of those already.
And trust me, we've been to the Dollar Tree more than you can count.
We
love the Dollar Tree. I still go there.
I mean, y'all know those stores.
I still go there. I pulled up in my Tesla the other day. I was like, I'm gonna go get some decorations and what?
Yeah, that's Mike. But
just saying, you know, like we come from a good place. We all have good hearts. We're never gonna forget where we came from. But we definitely are going to change, you guys. Yep. We're definitely going to change. And what Eli's trying to tell you guys is you need to get up and you need to change too. If you're in a situation where you're not happy, get up and change. Look at Eli. He's wearing sparkly shoes. Can we see these? They're so sparkly. I mean, literally, you were overweight like 15 years ago. Okay. I need to stop saying that. I think
they all heard that already.
You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, change your ways, you guys, because you could be so happy in this world. I keep waking up every morning and I am so happy. Like right now, I'm so happy, you guys. Like yesterday, I literally had to go pay for a ticket because my car, whatever, I had a ticket for a car. I had to go to the police station, then I had to go to the court, and then I had to go to my office. And I literally had to take 3 Ubers. It was like all over the place. I was like in a suit in the police station. I'm like, please just let me pay my ticket off. But literally on the way home, I was in the Uber on the way to work. I was so happy, you guys. I was like, oh my God, like life is just so amazing. I don't care that I was at a police station. I don't care that I was at the courthouse or I took 3 Ubers or whatever it was. I'm happy and that's all that matters.
And life is short, guys. Like don't take it for granted. You don't sit in your own mess of regret and sadness. Like it's not going to change if you're doing nothing about it. You have to get up and do something. Change the way you dress, change your hairstyle, get a haircut. If you don't have that much money, you can find a way to make means work.
Maybe cut it yourself if you can. Albert, who is our CEO, the owner of all these companies, he cuts his own hair, you guys. Secrets.
Okay. So I didn't know that, but that's a good secret.
Just saying, there's ways to make yourself better. If a haircut makes you better and you have to do it yourself to save money, at least you feel better. At least you're happy. Because what is that going to do? What is that going to do when you're happy?
I mean, that's just it. I mean, and change your circle, So what we've done before too, and I'll disclose this as well. Sometimes it's important to change the circle of people you're around. Sometimes if you're hanging around with people that all they want to do is party and get drunk. All they want to do is, and again, it's not bad to have a good time, but you have to know how to limit it and control it. You have to know who is the right people you want to learn from. Is it okay to hang around with someone that really is, and again, I'm not being mean, but someone that's not going to amount to something in their future? And again, it could be at that time. Everybody can amount to something, and that's not what I'm saying bad. But do you want to be in the circle of people that might not help you scale? Or do you want to be in the circle of people that are already better than you so you can learn from them and become a better version of yourself? And before you know it, bam, you're going to be in their position. And you can scale from there and keep growing and growing. So again, it's so important to really focus on the fact that there's so much opportunity out there. If you just kind of change the way you think of things, change the circle of people that are around you. And it's not that difficult. Yes, sometimes it's family. Yes, sometimes it's friends.
The circle could be anyone, you guys. The circle for me, my circle when I first started real estate, my circle was my family. My brother had a check on his desk. It was $13,000. I was in the medical field. I was so tired one day. My circle, which is my brother, at the time I went inside in his office. I was tired. I looked on his desk. I saw the check for $13,000. I'm like, oh my God, where did you get this money? And he's like, oh, I closed the transaction. I'm like, how long did it take you to close this transaction for $13,000? He's like, oh, 30 days. And I'm like, oh my God, I literally am in medical. I literally can get an infection because I'm in dental. So I literally have like a high chance of getting infection. And I was making $18,000 a year, you guys. a year. And my brother made $13,000 in 30 days. And I sat there and around my circle, because he was my circle, and I was inspired by him.
Yeah.
And I literally mimicked what he did. And I was like, I'm going to change my ways. I'm going to be like this individual. So shout out to you, Mr. Frank, with Next Home Liberty. But literally, I looked at that check, and that's another moment where I changed my life. I already had it in my head that I'm going to be in Beverly Hills and, you know, in the
that
suits and
never
everything.
changed since the day I met you.
That never changed. But that was another moment where I woke up. And why? Because like Mr. Eli said, make sure the circle you're around is the right circle. At the time, that was my right circle. And look at what it did for me, because I knew my brother was one of my rocks, you know, at the time. Still is. But having that rock in my circle, I was going around my circle. I stopped. I saw that check. Now I'm the one going around that circle.
You know what's cool about that story is that, you know, we all learn from each other. And at that time, we were learning a lot of different things from different people.
Yes.
And one thing that's important, you know, real estate is one avenue of wealth, and the circle you're in. So I'm going to give you guys an example. We are part of certain investment groups, right? We invest in certain businesses in real estate. But the reason is because we hang around with certain people, right? So think about this. Let's just say you're in an event and you're hanging around a bunch of real estate agents, or you're hanging around a bunch of surgeons, or you're hanging around a bunch of people that are restaurateurs.
Yes.
Do you think you're going to get some knowledge from these people that are actually going to show you something different that you don't know, versus hanging around with a bunch of people that are of not interest to you, right? And I don't mean people are not interesting, but everybody has interest in their mind of what they want to be in their life or where they want to be. So if you're wanting to invest in real estate, wouldn't it make sense to be part of a real estate group or a real estate fund or something where you can hang around and network with people and gain that knowledge?
Yes.
Don't be afraid to be in these circles or pay in these circles, because you're going to get that information from people that are already doing it. So we wanted more real estate information. So what did we do? You became a real estate agent.
Yes.
We wanted to know more about banking. We went into lending.
Yes.
We wanted to know more about investing in real estate. We started buying real estate.
Yes.
But we're getting knowledge from people that already did it.
Right.
You know, one philosophy people say is, if it's not broken, then why change it? Just keep using it until you get to a point that you can pivot and change your own movement, your own way of how you calculate that and do that. And now you create your own avenue of wealth. You follow it until you find the way that you find yourself in the position that is obsolete.
Right.
And now you create a new trend that's now your brand. Like Eli and Mike, this is our brand. We follow what we want, yet still loyal to our core business, the Mortgage Guys and Ambiance. But we follow that brand because that is who we are. That is our presentation. That is our brand.
Right.
And that's what's going to help us scale. All you guys should be branding, should be building relationships, should be meeting people of different mindsets.
Right.
Because you can't necessarily meet people that are exactly like you. Sometimes you got to meet people that are not like you and build with them and gain some knowledge, you know?
Yes. Grab their knowledge from them, grow from them. Just like I did. I saw somebody making money. I copied what they did, and look at where I'm at today.
Insane.
So you have to truly find those individuals who are going to show you the way. Even if you're someone who works 9 to 5, that's okay. That's really hard work. That's amazing. We love that, you know, that you put in the work every single day, but don't kill yourselves with these 9 to 5 jobs.
Yeah.
Go around people that are doing things to be better. So, you know, maybe you could be a nurse, you could be a waiter, you could be anything, 9 to 5. But that does not have to be your life forever. You could meet a real estate agent or mortgage representative like Eli and Mike, and you have, just by being around those type of people or others like us, you know, you're going to be able to learn that even though I have this job as a nurse 9 to 5, wow, these individuals that I started being around showed me that I could even purchase a property. People could literally rent it out. I'm not even paying for this property, and I'm getting a return on investment every single month. It could be anywhere from $2 to $5 to $1,000 per month. But when you start putting those together, one property, another loan, then if you're getting even $100 per month from these properties, at least you're starting to build, and then you have $100 a month. Then you have $500 a month. Then you start getting bigger. You have $2,000 a month. Then you even get bigger. You have $5,000 a month. Yeah. And you, the person who is a 9 to 5 individual working, or an entrepreneur that's maybe not in real estate or loans or investing, now you have a different life. You changed, and your life is now going to get better because you are around people who are doing things, to better themselves like
Yes,
us.
absolutely.
And then now you can do it for yourself.
And you know what, to add to that, if you don't know what to do, let's just say a lot of us get confused. What is the next step? How do I do this? How do I get to the next level?
Yes.
Look into finding a mentor.
Yes.
Mentors are important. It took me years. It literally, Mike, not even kidding.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I came to this company 5-6 years ago that I ended up finding a mentor.
Yes.
And finding that mentor taught me I could do something different with my life and organize it and structure it in a way that it's actually visible.
Yeah.
Because we all want the end, right? Like some of you guys might be like, I want Ferraris. I want a brand. I want to do all that. You all have to start from zero. It's just the way it is. You don't ever just go to 100. You start from zero, just like a car, 0 to 100. It takes time, but you find a mentor that helps push you through, that helps see, all right, that mentor is telling me what he already has.
Yes.
I want to be there. And that requires that motivation, that example, those exhibits, those measures of, key performance indicators that they follow. And that'll show you, hey, I have a mentor that's going to tell me what to do.
Yes.
Myself and Mike are even creating a mentoring program, which we're going to help educate people through methods of how we created our brand and how we're going to structure that differently. We're putting that together, but it's an example of how mentors are out there to help you get to the next level.
Yes.
It takes time, guys. Be very, very patient. Even to this day,
Yes.
me and Mike still need mentors today.
Yes.
We have our amazing mentor, Albert, but we have more mentors we need. We need more knowledge. We need more data. ChatGPT is out there taking people's jobs because it is answering questions that are even extremely detailed. I know Patrick David brought something up about that today.
Yes.
So we have to realize there's so much stuff out there. You cannot be an obsolete human being, which requires you to have more data, more knowledge. And who's better fit than having a mentor that already did it, that already got there. And then from that data, maybe one day you'll be a mentor, or maybe you get another mentor. I don't mean replace. It's good to have numerous mentors, but it's good to have an abundance of them because then you continue scaling. It's amazing.
Yes. So continue scaling. I love that. So, everyone, who is Eli and Mike? Oh, wait, I'm Mike. He's Eli. But who are we? Again, it's media. It's innovation. It's relationships. Marketing. It's changing. It's marketing. It's so many different things. And this is what Eli and Mike are. So if you guys are interested in anything that we do, send us a DM, send us a TikTok, send us you
follow us on Instagram,
TikTok,
YouTube. We're basically on every platform. Even on YouTube, our verified page.
Yes.
So, just reach out to us. We're very good people. We really do care a lot about finding more information. We love the young entrepreneur. We're always training and building our platform of people and our businesses. So
we are also Ambiance Realty and the Mortgage guys. So, real estate, loans, and investing. I mean, I literally can go on and on and on. So you as an individual, find what you are, find your brand, find your innovation, find your change. And then, we can all get together and have some champagne or have some fun,
Well, Michael has
invest and get some properties. It'll be so amazing. We have to be able to celebrate life too. That's part of our brand. We celebrate as well. So again, you reach out to Eli and Mike if you need us for anything at all, or Mike. and we'll go from there. But we love you guys so much.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys being on this podcast and watching us. So we do these every Wednesday. So much appreciation. Love you guys. And whatever you guys need, send us a message.